Welcome to training for Oracle Cloud Inventory Management in Oracle Supply Chain Management Cloud. In this demonstration, we'll demonstrate the capabilities of the Inventory Reservations AI Assistant. We will review these scenarios for our demo. We will review the demand lines for the sales order. Review the supply sources for a specific demand line. Reserve all lines to on-hand supply. Transfer reservation for a specific item from one sales order to another. Delete reservations for a demand document. Create reservations for an order. Update reservation quantity for a specific reservation. Reserve a demand line to a non-on-hand supply source. Navigate to the Reservations task on the Inventory Management landing page. This navigates us to the Reservations Redwood page. Currently, we don't have any reservations for this sales order. Let's invoke the Reservations AI Assistant to create the reservations for the sales order. The Reservations AI Assistant has three options. You can choose to review demand documents or create reservations given order details or update reservations given order details. We'll choose the Review Demand Documents option. You can search reservations by sales order, transfer order, or work order, or search reservations by an item and organization combination, or search for the unreserved, partially reserved, or reserved orders by a date range. We'll search for a sales order in a specific organization. It brings up the total lines in the order and the reservation status for the order. Let's view the demand lines for the sales order. The order has 3 lines for 3 items and none of the lines are reserved. You can choose to reserve all lines for the order or reserve a specific line or get the supply sources for a specific line. Let's get the supply sources for a specific demand line. We have 2 supply sources for this demand line. First source is on-hand supply. We have 500 quantity which are available to reserve, and we also have a transfer order that's available to reserve for a quantity of 10. Let's go ahead and reserve all the demand lines, which reserves the demand to the on-hand supply. This reserves the demand lines to the on-hand supply and displays the reservation IDs corresponding to the reservations. Use the deep link to view the reservations created for the sales order. This navigates us to the Reservations page and brings up the reservations created for the sales order for on-hand source. Let's now transfer the reservations for a demand line from one sales order to another. We specify the item, the transfer from sales order, and the transfer to sales order to transfer the reservation. The agent prompts us to confirm if we want to proceed with the transfer of reservations. We'll confirm the transfer of reservations. This creates a new reservation for the destination sales order and deletes the on-hand reservation for the item in the source sales order. Let's review the reservation for the destination sales order using the deep link. We can verify that the reservation is transferred for the item to the destination sales order. Verify the reservations for the source sales order. We will delete all reservations for the sales order. When prompted, the existing reservations are displayed for review, and we can verify them using the deep link. This brings up the existing reservations of the sales order to the on-hand supply. Confirming deletion deletes the reservations for the sales order demand and provides a deep link to view the updated reservations. Click the deep link to view the reservations for the sales order. The reservations are deleted for the sales order. Let's invoke the agent and use the Create Reservations Given Order Details option to recreate the reservations for the sales order. Query to view the demand lines for the sales order brings up the demand lines which are in the unreserved status. Reserve action creates the reservations for all the demand lines for the order. The reservation IDs are displayed corresponding to each reservation. View the reservations using the deep link. Click the deep link to view the reservations for the sales order. These are the reservations created for the demand lines. Querying the sales order brings up the demand lines and the reservations for the demand lines. Let's use the Update Reservations Given Order Details option in the Reservations Assistant AI agent. We'll provide the sales order and the organization for which the reservations need to be updated. This option allows us to choose whether to update reservation quantities for a specific line, create additional reservations for specific demand lines, or delete existing reservations. We enter the updated reservation quantity for a specific reservation ID, which updates the reservation. We can also specify another line to update, create, or delete its reservation. Viewing the reservation for the sales order displays the updated reservation details. Querying the supply sources for a line brings up the supply sources for a demand line. Let's view the details of the transfer order supply source. This brings up the transfer order supply details. We have a transfer order which is available to reserve for a quantity of 10 and it's expected to be available on January 2, 2026. Let's reserve a quantity of 5 from the transfer order for the sales order line. Click the deep link to view the created reservation. Here's the reservation created for the transfer order supply. These are the reservations for the sales order. The item INV 400 is reserved partially to the on-hand and the transfer order supply. Querying the reservations for the sales order on the agent brings up the reservations for the demand lines. This completes the demo. Thank you for listening.